We are now in chapter 4 of A Mistress to the Game, and the title of this chapter is I'm Off to a Rocky Start. If I would describe this chapter, it's new beginnings. So, here we go. Chapter 4. That night, the nurse came in and asked me if I was okay. I just looked at her and said, "Bitch, what do you think?" As I laid in bed thinking, I asked myself, "London, how in the hell did you get here?" Then I was reminded of the infamous night after my high school graduation in 1980. After celebrating with my family, I came home, changed my clothes, and my friends and I drove into the inner city. Everyone either had a fake ID or borrowed one from a sibling along with clothes to wear so that we could bar hop that night. Because shortly before my graduation, the legal age of drinking had changed from 18 to 21. And we needed to make sure that we looked the part if we wanted to hit all the spots that night. Our first stop was the Empire. Next, we hit the Velvet Room. Now, our last stop would be at the tavern called the Birmingham. It was an after-hour spot that didn't close until the sun came up. I knew about it because my sister Brooklyn talked about it so much because her and her boyfriend would go there from time to time. Get my reading together, y'all. Brooklyn was my favorite and absolutely beautiful to me. She was everything I wanted to be. All the boys loved her and the girl was my idol. Brooklyn was fair-skinned like our mother with long black hair, and she was fine. My sister had a dancer's body from studying dance at the School of Performing Arts. She was now studying law at Sumner University in St. Louis, Missouri. During her downtime, she would also intern at our parents' law firm whenever she was in town. Brooklyn dated this professional baseball player named Rondell Chesterfield, who played for the St. Louis Cardinals. She met while away at school, and he spoiled her like crazy. And I wanted to be just like her in every way. When we arrived at the Birmingham, all the pimps, players, and hustlers were there. And I was instantly fascinated. My sheltered ass had never seen no shit like this ever. And I was drawn to it like a moth to a flame. Out of all the men there, one man in particular stood out to me. He was tall with curly hair, very handsome and well built for his age. I thought he was in his 30s, and I would later discover that he was almost 50. He wore a custom tailored Giorgio Armani suit and the sharpest pair of Stacey Adams I had ever seen. And he was covered in diamonds and gold from head to toe. When this man passed me, he looked like power and smelled like heaven, and I had to have him. I tried my best to get his attention. I walked past him in that little black dress I had stolen from my sister's closet, but he paid me no mind. He was there with some woman I assumed at the time was his girlfriend, or maybe his wife, but my fast ass didn't care. I glanced at him and smiled and made eye contact before asking the bartender for another amaretto sour. The closer I got to him, I could feel my body getting warm all over and tingling. After grabbing a drink, I made my way back to my friends and exhaled. "London girl, where have you been?" my friend Yvette asked. Girl salivating over that fine-ass man I saw at the bar. "Girl, I know him. That's Broderick Games, the biggest dope dealer in Chicago. You don't want to fool with him," she asked. I didn't stop to think how she knew him at the time. I just thought to myself, bullshit. With all the diamonds and gold he and that woman have on, he is just what I need. Look, London, he is trouble, and I would stay far away from him if I were you. I'm just saying. We continued to party all night long, laughing at all the old-ass Jerry Curl wearing hustlers hit on us all night. I drank so much until the point I began to feel sick. She's a Bad Mama Jamma was playing while I danced on the dance floor when the room started to spin. I leaned over and told Yvette, "I feel sick and I have to throw up." At that time, she helped me to the bathroom, and when we walked in, the pretty lady I saw with Broderick, aka Mr. B, was in there. She and her friends were at the bathroom counter chopping up this white powder with the razor blade on a mirror, sniffing the lines they created through a dollar bill. She looked at us and said, "Y'all want to hit this?" Pointing the dollar bill in our direction, then laughed and said, "Them little niggas ain't ready for this shit. Little girl, this is grown woman shit." Then she grabbed the mirror, wiped it off with her finger and tossed it in her purse. Then rubbed the excess powder on her gums before pushing me out of the way and walking out the bathroom door. "No, this old bitch didn't," I said. As I exited behind her to confront her, who did I bump into? My sister Brooklyn. "What are you doing here, Pookie? I thought that was you. And is that my dress?" she said. "It is almost 5 a.m. in the morning. And besides, this is no place for you. Take your ass home." I was having so much fun, I didn't even look at the time. "Please don't tell Mama," I said. She looked at me again and said, "Go home now and take off my dress." I looked over at Mr. B and my heart fluttered. Then I looked at his girlfriend and said to myself, "Bitch, one day he will be mine." I wouldn't see him again until I came home for my winter break from college. And this time, Mr. B would be mine. And after that, my world would change forever. All right, y'all. We'll continue tomorrow.